to the broadcast of News Hour on Som TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now the major headlines. Tinubu confers CFR National Honor on Bill Gates for philanthropic contributions. NATO divided over Ukraine ahead of the AGU summit amid Trump policy shift as Amnesty demands probe into Zamfara airstrike that killed 20 vigilantes. Nasarawa partners security agencies to tackle illegal mining across states, while Obasanjo launches Leadership Institute to address Africa's governance challenges. I am Esther Oka-Steven. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has conferred Nigeria's third highest national award, Commander of the Order of the Federation of the Federal Republic, CFR, on Microsoft co-founder and philanthropist Bill Gates. The award was presented during a private ceremony at Tinubu's Lagos residence on Tuesday. According to a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the honor recognizes Gates' long-standing contributions to Nigeria in areas such as maternal health, agriculture, and infectious disease research. Tinubu praised Gates for his global leadership and dedication in improving the lives of the underprivileged. This recognition follows Gates' recent announcement in Addis Ababa that a majority of the $200 billion from its foundation over the next 20 years will go towards health and development initiatives in Africa. NATO leaders are facing internal divisions ahead of the upcoming summit in the AGU, particularly over how to engage with Ukraine amid U.S. President Donald Trump's shift in policy. While European allies want President Volodymyr Zelensky to attend as a sign of continued support, the U.S. remains assistant. Trump's administration has called on Ukraine's NATO ambitions, softened on Russia, and stalled military assistance. Diplomatic sources suggest Zelensky may be present only at a ceremonial dinner, with no formal talks planned. Meanwhile, the summit is expected to prioritize a defense spending compromise, with little mention of Ukraine's membership bid to avoid further discord. Amnesty International has called for a transparent investigation into a recent military airstrike in Zamfara State that killed at least 20 local vigilantes and injured many others. The airstrike, which occurred in Maraya and Wabi village in Maru local government area, mistakenly targeted vigilantes defending their communities from bandits. Amnesty described the attack as unlawful and highlighted similar incidents, including a January airstrike that killed 16 community guards in Maradon local government area. The group urged Nigerian authorities to bring justice to the victims and condemned the repeated civilian casualties caused by military air raids. The Nasarawa state government has announced a partnership with security agencies to clamp down on illegal mining across its 13 local government areas. Commissioners for Information, Culture and Tourism, Ibrahim Tanko, made the disclosure during a press briefing marking Governor Abdullahi Sule's second-term anniversary. He stated that the government has adopted a zero-tolerance stance on illegal mining due to its environmental and economic impact, especially in Kokona local government area. The state urged prospective mining firms to comply with legal processes and obtain proper licenses. Meanwhile, Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development Yakubu Kwanta praised Sule for ongoing infrastructure development and the state's recent sports achievement. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has launched the Olusegun Obasanjo Leadership Institute to tackle leadership challenges across Africa. In a statement by his media aide, Kehinde Akinyemi, Obasanjo described the institute as a platform to train conscientious, principled, and people-focused leaders, drawing inspiration from military discipline and strategic policy training. Inaugurating his governing board in Abeokuta, he said the institute, affiliated with Bells University and approved by the NUC, is now fully operational. Obasanjo credited over 70 years of leadership observation in Africa as the motivation behind the initiatives. The federal government has inaugurated the Northeast First Liquefied to Compressed Natural Gas facility in Yola, Adamawa State. Developed by Greenvilla LNG, the plant converts LNG to CNG for domestic, industrial, and transport use. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekperikpe ECHO, described the project as a milestone in the decades of gas initiatives aimed at expanding clean energy access to economic growth. Governor Ahmadu Fintri, represented by his deputy, praised initiative alignment with climate goals. Greenvilla's chairman, Eddie Broke, announced over $1 billion in gas infrastructure investment nationwide. Minister of Defense Mohammed Badaru has confirmed the renewed Boko Haram resurgence in Borno State linked to border effort by insurgents to destabilize the Sahel region. During a visit to military institutions in Kaduna, he stated that the Nigerian Army Forces have recently intensified operations, eliminating several insurgents. Badaru emphasized a combined military and community-based approach to national security, citing progress in research and local production of military equipment. He commended the Defense Academic and Air Force Institute of Technology for innovation supporting self-reliance and praised their role in officer training and infrastructure development. Obu Kodata Ajogofie, Councillor of Evreni Ward 8 in Ugeli North local government area of Delta State, had died after collapsing while playing football in his community. His sudden passing comes less than 2 months after the death of another councillor in the same local government area. Friday, Owewo Rumeu of Uweru Ward 16. The chairman of Ugeli North, Jaro Egbo, describes Ogohofie as a dedicated legislator and mourned the loss of deeply painful. Ogohofie is the third serving councillor in Delta State to die in office within 9 months. Ohaneze Indigbo Worldwide has scheduled a public hearing for Friday to review its constitution. The Secretary General, Emeka Sabedu, announced that the event will take place at the group's Enugu Secretariat and is open to all. He encouraged Igbos from all Igbo-speaking states and scholars to participate and contribute to shaping the organization's future. The General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has stated that Nigeria would be in a far worsened condition without the prayer of its citizens. Speaking at the RCCG headquarters in Lagos during an event with security and paramilitary personnel, Adeboye warned against underestimating the power of prayers, noting that even a 1 week pause in intercession will lead to alarming consequences. He emphasized that true security comes from divine protection and praised security agencies for their efforts. Pastor Dele Balogun also reaffirmed the church's commitment to supporting them through prayers. The All Progressive Congress APC has rebuked former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, ex-Transport Minister Rotimi Amechi, and former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai over claim that President Bola Tinubu is poisoning poverty. The remarks were made at a lecture marking Amechi's 60th birthday. APC spokesperson Felix Moka dismissed their criticism as self-serving, accusing them of failing to address poverty or economic reform during their time in office. He said Tinubu's administration is dismantling a rent-seeking system and implementing structural reforms, including fuel subsidy removal and exchange rates, which have curbed corruption and boosted government investment in infrastructure, health, and education. The Lagos State chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC has established a reconciliation committee to address disputes arising from its recent local government primaries election. Party spokesperson Mogaji Oladajo announced the move, stating it aims to resolve internal grievances within 2 weeks and strengthen party's unity ahead of the poll. The primaries triggered protests and numerous petitions over alleged lack of transparency. The reconciliation effort has been decentralized across senatorial districts, with designated chairpersons and members leading efforts in Lagos East, Central, and the 2 Lagos West zone. The Nigerian government has called for urgent and coordinated efforts to protect traditional crops, which are increasingly threatened by climate change, urban development, and unsustainable farming practices. Officials stress that preserving Nigerians' rich crop diversity, such as yam, cassava, maize, and millet, is essential for maintaining food security, agricultural resilience, and national values. The government highlighted the importance of stronger collaboration among stakeholders and supportive policies to conserve plant genetic resources. Nigerians' participation in the Global Crop Diversity Trust Seed for Resilience program has modernized the National Gene Bank, allowing for the release of over 30 new crop varieties. These initiatives support the country's efforts to improve food security amid a growing population and environmental challenges. The Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) has launched a nationwide initiative and standardized drivers and rider training, aiming to improve road safety across Nigeria. Announced at the workshop in Port Harcourt, the program includes a series of training sessions in multiple locations. FRSC officials stress the importance of quality driver education in reducing accidents and ensuring that all licensed drivers receive proper training. Participants committed to implementing improved safety practice in their institution. The National Coalition Against Mass Killings and Impunity, with GAFAMORG, has notified police and security agencies about a planned peaceful protest on June 12 to address issues like injustice and corruption. They urge respect for protesters' rights, warned against violence or excessive force, and promise to hold violators accountable. Legal aid and human rights monitors will support the protest, emphasizing non-violence. The coalition calls on authority to avoid lethal force and urge the government to choose dialogue over repression. Haruna Yahya was inaugurated as the 61st president of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of Nigeria ICAN during a ceremony at the Institute Lagos headquarters. Yaya succeeds Davidson Alirbe, who expanded ICAN's presence by opening 26 district societies, 24 of which were inaugurated during his tenure. The event was attended by government representatives and leaders from various professional bodies, including delegates from Lagos and Jigawa State, the Financial Reporting Councils and Accounting and Banking Institute. Yaya now assumes leadership of ICAN for the coming year. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JOSUN, has suspended its strike, which began on Monday following the intervention of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun. In a communique release after meeting with the CJN's representatives, the union agreed to a one-month negotiation window involving the federal government, the Minister of Labor, and the Nigerian Labour Congress. Demands include implementation of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage, a 25.35% salary increase, and payment of 5 months' wage arrears. Members have been directed to resume work on Wednesday. Vice President Kashim Shettima and Chairman of Generation Earth Unlimited Nigeria announced a partnership with UNICEF to train 20 million youth in digital skills by 2030. He emphasized the program's importance in helping young people transition from education to employment through digital platforms. The initiative aligned with government's Renewed Hope agenda and has already reached over 10 million youth, aiming to hit 20 million by enhancing collaboration and aligning the national policies. In the same vein, the Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy announced the inaugural National Cyber Security Conference will take place from 7th July to 10th, 2025 in Abuja. The event, organized in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency and the Office of the National Security Advisor, aims to tackle rising digital threats and promote cyber security awareness, youth innovation, and workforce development across Nigeria. Similarly, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Professor Natewa Yelwat-Day, emphasized the government's focus on building community tech hub to develop digital skills and promote innovations. He highlighted plans to export digital talent and create opportunities for youth through training and funding initiatives. Supporting this vision, the Digital Bridge Institute provides practical digital skills training nationwide to empower youth for economic self-reliance and sustainable development. Ajia Jamila Mohammed, a pilgrim from Plateau, has died in Makkah due to complications from diabetes. The Executive Secretary of the State Muslim Pilgrim Affairs Board, Mr. Dayabu Dauda, confirmed her death on Monday at King Abdulaziz Hospital. She was promptly admitted for treatment when complications arose but later passed away. Ajia Jamila was buried in Makkah according to Islamic rite. Dauda extends condolences to her family, urging them to find comfort in their faith. Still on report on the Plateau State government has given motorcycle operators 72 hours to leave the Jos Bukuru metropolis, citing a surge in illegal motorcycle activities that violates the long-standing ban under the Greater Jos Master Plan. Commissioner for Transportation, Daov Jatog Jang, described the situation as alarming and emphasized that ban is non-negotiable. Mobile courts have been deployed to prosecute offenders and operators found in restricted areas after the deadline who face arrest and prosecution. The government highlighted concern over accidents, traffic congestion, and security risks as reasons for enforcing the ban, urging residents to cooperate for public safety and order. The House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee Chairman Bamidele Salam expressed concern over MDA's failing to account for over 250 billion naira in 2020 to 2021, citing widespread financial mismanagement. Ahead of a July Fiscal Governance Conference in Abuja, he called for stronger transparency, accountability, and collaboration to address these issues. The conference aims to significantly reduce unaccounted funds, improve audit compliance, and introduce digital financial management reform. The Deputy Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly, Abayomi Akinruntan, and the Majority Leader, Emmanuel Ogumolasiyi, have resigned their position. Akinruntan cited political power-sharing arrangements as his reason for stepping down. Their resignation were announced during Tuesday plenary session led by Speaker Olamide Oladije. Ololade Gbagudu was appointed as a new deputy speaker, while Olatunji Oshati took over as majority leader. Additionally, Muritala Suleiman was named chief whip, and Fagbeyi Olatunji became the assembly whip. The speaker praised the outgoing officers for their maturity and contributions, emphasizing the peaceful transition and the importance of balancing political alignment within the state. The Kano state government has advised residents to prioritize animal health and hygiene during the upcoming Eid-el-Kabir celebration to prevent the spread of zoonotic diseases. In a statement by Ministry of Health spokesperson Umbilusi Abubakar, Health Commissioner Dr. Abubakar Labaran Yusuf urged the public to purchase only healthy animals and practice safe slaughtering and meat handling. He emphasized proper hygiene in cooking to prevent food-borne illness and assured that health facilities are well prepared for emergencies during the festivities. Still from Kano, the National Association of Kano State Students, NAKSS, has expressed concern over the tuition fee increase at the state-owned Northwest University, Kano, from 17,000 naira to approximately 57,000 naira. NAKSS President Ishaku Ali said students have raised complaints, prompting the association to engage university management in talk to seek a reduction. He clarified that the Kano state government is not involved in the fee hike and urged students to remain calm, emphasizing that dialogue will resolve the issues. The Lagos state government has imposed a fine of 250,000 naira or a 3-month jail term for illegal waste disposal and littering. Commissioner Tokumbo Wahab warned of strict penalties for repeat offenders and reinforced the ban on chart pushers. Developers obstructing roads or drain will face persecution. Over 3,000 offenders have been prosecuted with continuous enforcement by the Lagos Waste Management Authorities and the Kick Against Indiscipline Brigade. The government also raised concerns over the misuse of bridges. Senator Sheib Afolabi Salisu of Ogun Central has disbursed 100,000 naira each to 250 market traders across Egbeland, and part of his Olowo aims to transit traders from the informal to the formal economy by providing capital, banking service, and tools like POS machines to encourage digital transaction. Beneficiaries also receive training in business development and financial literacy to ensure long-term sustainability. Salisu highlighted the importance of empowering market women, describing them as the backbone of the economy, and pledged to review the program after 6 months with potentials additional support for successful traders. On border economic issues, he noted progress in fiscal reforms, including tax review for lower income earners and effort to stabilize the foreign exchange market. Director of IMT Enugu, Professor Gozie Ogbodo, announced that 28 students and some lecturers were found guilty of bribery from grades and will face disciplinary action. He emphasized the institution's zero-tolerance policy on academic misconduct and highlighted recent full accreditations of all programs. Obodo also stressed compulsory class attendance and the shared responsibility of students and lecturers in upholding academic standards. The announcement came during a visit from Peace Studies students promoting collaboration on peace-building initiatives. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and Saplet Energy Joint Venture commissioned a solar-powered mini-grid in Ologbo Ungu community, Edo State, supply electricity to about 138 households and businesses. The project includes battery storage and a borehole for clean water access. The joint venture also graduated the first group of trainees from its youth entrepreneurship program. Edo State officials praised the initiative for supporting rural electrification and sustainable development through public-private collaboration. Still from Edo State resident of Elolu village in Ore community, Onwa East local government area, Edo State have banned the sale of consumption of beef following repeated kidnapping and killing by suspected